equals 1 part flour to 1 part butter by volume. Slurry equals 1 part cornstarch to 1 part water by volume. Thickening rule: 1 tablespoon starch will thicken 1 cup liquid. Beurre manie, or kneaded butter, is butter into which an equal volume of flour has been rubbed and kneaded, becoming an easy, effective way to thicken small amounts of sauces while also enriching them. Slurries, pure starch and water, may be quicker and more widely used, but they don't enrich or add flavor. Butter does. Beurre manie is especially suited to thickening pan gravies, small quantities of a la minute sauces, meat stews, fish stews, and the poaching liquid in which fish has cooked. It should be used a la minute, just before serving. A slurry is a mixture of a pure starch, such as cornstarch or arrowroot, and water. It's used to thicken sauces, a process often called lié. Jus de veau lié is a veal stock thickened with slurry. Slurries are excellent for last-minute thickening, especially of sauces. The thickening will break down after repeated or extended cooking, so it's best to lié your sauce just before serving. You can use slurries to thicken larger quantities of liquid, such as soups, but this can create an unpleasant, overly gelatinized texture. Roux is the recommended thickener for soups. Most of the ratios in this book are measured in terms of parts by weight. This isn't practical when working with the small quantities here. In fact, making slurry and beurre manie is easiest to do using volume measures. And because we do most of our thickening by eye, the thickening rule simply provides the guideline that 1 tablespoon of any starch, whether flour or a pure starch such as cornstarch, will thicken to a light sauce consistency of 1 cup of liquid. Here, the ratio is helpful for those who aren't familiar with slurries, but generally it's best to mix a slurry by sight. It should have the viscosity and appearance of heavy cream, and add it to the hot liquid until you've reached the desired consistency. As a rule, though, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch mixed with enough water to separate the starch granules will thicken to medium consistency 1 cup of water. I use beurre manie to thicken any sauce that benefits from a little butter, which is pretty much any sauce. If you had a little fish stock and cooked a piece of fish in the stock in a small sauté pan, you could simply remove the fish, swirl in some beurre manie, and have an elegant sauce to go with your fish. Some fresh thyme or tarragon and a squeeze of lemon would go a long way here. If you have some veal or beef stock, sauté some mushrooms and add them to the stock. Bring to a simmer, and add a little beurre manie, a tablespoon per half cup of stock, and you will have a lovely sauce. To demonstrate the effectiveness and versatility of beurre manie, I'm choosing one of the most common and wonderful preparations known, roast chicken, and to underscore the wonders of using water as a stock base, I've built the stock making process into the method itself, which happens after the chicken is cooked while it's resting. Consistency is a critical factor in everything we eat. Beurre manie is one way we can regulate the consistency of liquids that add flavor and juiciness to our food. If you like it, make a cup or so by combining half a cup of flour with a stick of soft butter. Knead it to thoroughly distribute the flour. Roll it in plastic wrap and refrigerate until you need it. It will keep for a month refrigerated and for several months if frozen. Roasted chicken with sauce, beans, herbs. A lesson in using slurry or manie. Here is a very basic but also elegant way to roast and serve a chicken. Simple and economical enough for a weekday meal, but elegant enough to serve the most honored guests. I honestly don't know if there's anything better in the kitchen than the whole process of roasting a chicken and preparing a sauce while it rests. A whole chicken this size takes an hour to roast, which gives you plenty of time to make accompaniments. I especially like the sauce method here because it doesn't require chicken stock, only water. The main flavor of the sauce comes from the elegant mixture of herbs we call fiend herbs: parsley, tarragon, chives, and chervil, dominated by the anise notes of tarragon and chervil. Don't worry about the chervil if it's not available to you, but then don't skip on the tarragon. Unless, of course, you don't like tarragon. In that case, just use parsley and chives. You'll need about a tablespoon of finely chopped herbs to finish the sauce, but save a few complete stems to add to the sauce while you're cooking it. The best way to roast a chicken this size is in very high heat, at least 450 degrees Fahrenheit. If your oven isn't clean, this can result in a smoky kitchen if you don't have an exhaust hood. But I think it's worth it for the beautiful golden brown skin and the incomparably juicy chicken. It's important also to salt the chicken aggressively with kosher or coarse grain salt. I prefer roasting the chicken in a medium cast iron skillet or any oven-proof sauté pan just large enough to hold the bird. It's just the right size for making a pan sauce once the bird is roasted. The sauce is made by quickly cooking the onion and carrot in the pan with the skin that has stuck to it, any neck or gizzard that you found in the bird, and the wing tips from the roasted chicken. First in wine until that is reduced and the pan is crackling, and then water, developing great flavor by reducing the liquid all the way down. The sauce is strained into a small clean pan, reheated and thickened with a little beurre manie, and finished with the herbs. Preheat your oven to 450 degrees Fahrenheit. Give it at least 25 minutes to get up to temperature. Rinse and dry one roasting chicken, 3 to 4 pounds, and keep the neck and any other innards except the liver. I like to truss the bird, pulling its legs together with butcher's string, crossing the two ends of the string and pulling them around the chicken, over the leg and wing, and tying the two ends at the neck. This results in a pretty cooked bird, one that rests more efficiently while you're making the sauce with juicy white meat. While it's not strictly necessary, it's a definitively better roasted bird that comes out of the oven. A bird that's not trussed can be as much as 10% lighter from water loss. Trussing closes up the body cavity, reducing airflow through it, and thereby reducing water loss. If you are not trussing the bird, I recommend stuffing the cavity with onion, a half lemon, and any extra herbs you may have. Salt the bird heavily with about a tablespoon of kosher salt. Place the bird in an oven-proof skillet and pop it into the oven for 1 hour. In a small bowl, combine 1 tablespoon butter and 1 tablespoon flour, kneading it with your fingers until it becomes a uniform paste. Refrigerate it until you're ready to finish the sauce. Or combine 1 tablespoon cornstarch and 1 tablespoon of water in a small bowl and set it near the stovetop. Pick enough leaves from the parsley, tarragon, and chervil if you're using it, and enough stems of chives so that you have about a teaspoon of each once they're finely minced. Mince them and combine them. Reserve a few leafy stems of parsley and tarragon and a few stems of chives. When the chicken is cooked for 1 hour, remove it from the oven. Stick a wooden spoon or other tool into the carcass to lift the bird out of the pan, allowing the skin to remain stuck to the pan. Set the bird on a cutting board or plate. Place Place the pan over high heat to cook some of the juices down and brown the skin that stuck to the pan for a couple of minutes. Remove the tips of the wings from the chicken and add them to the pan. Pour off all but 2 tablespoons of fat from the pan, return it to the heat, and add a medium onion thinly sliced and a large carrot thinly sliced and the reserved herb stems. Cook these for about a minute over high heat. Add 1 cup white wine and boil it down, scraping the bottom of the pan with a flat-edged wooden spoon to get up all the skin and brown juices. When the wine is nearly gone, the pan will begin to crackle as the last of the wine cooks off. Stir the onion and carrot and chicken, cooking them more to brown them slightly. Add about a cup of water and repeat the reduction. While this last reduction is happening, sweat 2 teaspoons minced shallots in a film of canola oil or butter just to soften. When the water in the pan is gone and the pan is crackling, add 8 ounces of water along with the juices from the chicken. Bring it to a boil for about a minute and strain it into the saucepan with the shallots. Bring the sauce to a simmer and add the beurre manie, whisking or stirring until it is completely melted and the sauce has thickened. Remove it from the heat. Remove each half of breast from the bird, keeping the wing attached. Remove the legs from the chicken and separate the legs and thighs. Add the fine herbs to the sauce and rewarm as necessary.